say enough about this. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna bring out the best in Devin for the people. You know what I'm saying? We're not looking for no pushovers. Everybody that we pulled up to, you know what I mean? Either we fought them or they declined to fight him. Either we put something on the table, right? Or we waited on them to put something on the table. Devin is the best fighter in the world, man. And definitely, inshallah, after this victory and dominate in a dominating fashion. Because here, Mr. Regis Prograis said that he want to start boxing. No, guys. You know what I'm saying? Come in and do some of that destructive shit with Mr. Pillow Fisted, Devin Haney, that you said, no, I might start boxing. No, because when you feel that shit, you know what I mean, you're going to back up like everybody else do. You know what I mean? But the only thing that's different is when you back up, he might come get you.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, Rex? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to BodyWork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to BodyWorkBoxing. Let's get down to business. On December the 9th, 2023, Devin Haney will be challenging the current WBC 140-pound champion in the Bay Area in Regis Prograis, right? And I'm hearing a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get into Days of Our Lives. That's not what this is. It's a lot of channels getting into, you know, they're starting to really explore all of the tales that DHP, you know, have been telling here lately, you know. But more importantly, I want to start focusing in on the actual fight itself. You know, a lot of the things that I'm hearing, especially when you hear, you know, Bill Haney talking about Regis Prograis in that manner, like, nah, you know, Regis say, nah, you say you might try to box and then we gonna come get you. And then more importantly, I didn't even play it. I might save that for later. But I heard Devin Haney proclaim that he was gonna make or turn Regis Prograis into a meme. I'm like, wow, like, I mean, at some point in time, you know, we do have selling the fight, and I really applaud the effort. I do, in attempt to sell a fight. I really do. But we gotta start being, like, realistic. We really gotta start being realistic. You know, when I was saying, hey, you know, Deb, go ahead and move up. You've been down there for too long. It's just 5 pounds. People were like, oh my gosh, you know, because I wanted them to see, you know, Gary Antoine Russell. You know, I'm not going to get into that. And, you know, he does have the benefit of actually having 5 more pounds. But when you have questionable power at the lower weight class, moving up in power, it does not guarantee that just because you don't have to cut as much, you know, that you're going to gain any power or anything like that. It's kind of relative to the fighter. But there are no indications right now, at least in my book. You know, it's a puncher's chance. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's that wild overhand that took, like, you know what I'm saying, like 1,001. You know, I don't know how many seconds it took for him to land. When he got the knockout of the year or candidate or whatever. Regis has exceptional head movement, and you know, I couldn't help but think, man, RP to Ray Liotta, man. I couldn't. That's all I seen when I seen that video and I heard what Devin Haney was saying. I'm like, man, I understand being confident, but they are really overdoing it. I'm not talking about the cap. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the cap tails. I'm not even talking about that cap and gown. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, some of the fans are doing. I'm not even mentioning all of these different, you know, things that they're saying. I'm focusing in on the matchup at hand. You know, this kind of reminds me of when Devin Haney said that he was going to beat Gamboa worse than he's ever been beaten, and this and this and this. Gamboa was able to go out to the club after that. You know, and, you know, for everybody who like to always talk about context, let me put something in context for you. The fight before that, Tank Davis fought Gamboa, right? It was a fight where, you know, it wasn't Tank's best work, but he pretty much played with his food, you know, looking over, talking to the crowd, saying stuff. He allowed Gamboa to touch him. But he wound up ending that fight with about seven uppercuts to end that fight. Not to mention, in like the second or third round, people never give Tank credit for this, but he hit Gamboa so hard, he tore his ACL. Yeah, Tank, the impact from that blow and how he landed, whatever his ankle did, it tore it. And people say, oh man, Tank couldn't finish him. He had a torn Achilles heel. He couldn't. He did finish him. He played with his food. He was playing around, looking off at the crowd. You know what I'm saying? This and this and that. That was pretty much the real ascension to Tank. That's when he really started, after that fight, that's when he started taking off and he started getting focused and he started doing everything he needed to do to become the face of boxing, right? Well, that very next fight, the very next fight that Gamboa had, Devin Haney fights him. You know, and I respect him for common opponent. Like, you know what I'm saying? So there are some trails and some rumblings that he was chasing Tank because common opponent. But he fought him and it was a clinch festival. You know what I'm saying? Devin would punch and clinch and you know what I'm saying? And he was complaining about Gamboa holding. I'm like, it was a clinch fest. You know what I'm saying? Especially after that Linares performance. But when I look back at it, I say, in that fight, Devin Haney overpromised and underdelivered. And it's a lot of rumblings of that now. But we got to take in consideration when he did make those statements, being that in the last fight, Gamboa had an Achilles injury. He fought Devin Haney next. And Devin Haney couldn't even knock him down. So I think to go up against a power puncher, you know, who is a very underrated boxer. Even Regis tell you, he's like, man, I've been getting away with doing this and this and that, but I can actually box. He has exceptional head movement. You need to really check out these stats. You got people just dismissing stats. But when you have a certain amount of fights and you can see over time, there is a pattern. There is an analysis going on to, you know, over these numbers. So it's something that you want to consider. But the dude, one thing you can't consider is that out of 29 people, he knocked 24 of them out. You know, this is not a fly-by-night talent in Regis Prograis. And I don't think that it's right that leading up to this fight, people are starting to discredit him. When you go back and you look in time, you go back and look at videos of Regis Prograis. I call him the crippler in my boxes to watch. You know what I'm saying? I've been promoting it and pushing for Regis. You know, I find it shameful that people are neglecting the fact that he was one of the most avoided fighters. And to my surprise, Bill Haney is the only one that's really bringing that up. Part of his gamesmanship, because he really is, you know, saluting Regis and saying, yeah, we took on the task. And everything that he say in that aspect is true. You know, it wasn't a lot of people ringing on Regis Prograis' doorbell looking for a fight. You know what I'm saying? But getting back to what I'm saying as far as this fight, I think that, you know, I think that Devin Haney is overlooking Regis Prograis. You know, to proclaim that you're going to turn that man into a meme, you know, you haven't we haven't seen you deal with anybody with that kind of power. You know what I'm saying? You know, Regis could go to the body. I think that is, you know, even though it's not a traditional style, it kind of reminds you how them people fought back in the day when they used to fight, you know what I'm saying, with the palms inward, gloves facing out. He kind of reminds you of that, but some of the movements and the style, I think the footwork, he has exceptionally fast feet. And he is an artist in the fact that there are tendencies. He can be very vicious to the body. You know what I'm saying? When he starts hitting you in the base of your body and he starts making your legs not want to move, you know what I'm saying, and then your guard starts coming down, he knows how to switch it up. He knows how to pivot. He knows how to use his angles. And yes, Lomachenko may be noted as having, you know, better footwork because he was the Matrix. I think that has nothing to do with the kind of footwork that Regis Prograis has. It's a whole different, he's a bigger person. You know, he's naturally bigger. He's, you know, well versed in this weight class. His only loss was to Josh Taylor, and that was controversial. And again, I always say this, Josh Taylor's face looked like hamburger meat. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? We've seen some controversial judging and some scoring and this and that. And I find it real odd that a lot of people are harping on, you know, the bad performance that Regis Prograis put on. Now, self-admittedly, he did say that he got dropped. He was fighting against Zorilla. That was a last-minute replacement, mind you. That was a last-minute replacement fight. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't studying for this guy. He wasn't looking. This guy came on and it was just by his sheer boxing talent that he was able to win that fight. But it's real crazy because when you hear Bill Haney saying, oh man, Regis talk about he might try to box, I was just like, yeah, it's a possibility he could at some point in time trying to box as he's setting up what he really want to do to you, because it's no secret. Regis Prograis said that I'm knocking Devin Haney out. I'm stopping Devin Haney. I'm stop, like he had Tourette's. I'm stopping Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? And the whole sweet science of hit and not get hit, Devin didn't win that against Lomachenko. And granted, that is Lomachenko, but as far as boxing and being supreme and the superior jab and being able to put that stick out, Regis Prograis is a veteran. He's very savvy. He went up against a lot of traditional boxers, you know what I'm saying, orthodox boxers, and I think that this overconfidence, man, is something that, man, we might want to reel Devin Haney back in. I don't think that he want to go try to be crowd pleasing. You know, just like me and my old head, we always talk. What Devin Haney needs to do is stick to doing what Devin Haney does best. That's sticking and moving, being opportunistic. You know what I'm saying? I always say that I really don't think that it's really a lack of power with Devin Haney. I think that when he's in position, which is when he's on the inside, he's getting full leverage because he has very long arms, like a fulcrum, a la Bud, when he can torque and crank and really hit you. Because I seen flashes of brilliance mainly in that second Kambosos fight, some in the first Kambosos fight, where he's doing uppercuts and hooks and jab, and you know what I'm saying, and the way he's pivoting and being mean with it, having some intention. I just think that when he's in those positions where he's his most offense and he has the ability to deliver the most impactful blow, he's at his most vulnerable state. Which means that he's inside with a shorter guy with a lower center of gravity that can torque, has a wide variety of punches. I think that that's he's at his most vulnerable. So I don't suggest him to do that. Devin Haney needs to box it out. Devin Haney needs to use his attribute. He does not need to go in there and prove anything. And with this confidence, it's something in the air. And, you know, if everybody's saying that Regis Prograis is the underdog in this fight, you know what I'm saying, I smell a big upset. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to put money down on it. You know, and especially dealing with they're overlooking Regis. They're being disrespectful. Bill Haney is giving them credit and doing this gamemanship. But I think, man, I think the fans, man, there's a couple different fans. I myself found one was distraught when they saw what could happen to their favorite fighter. And I think this is what is going to happen on December the 9th. Anyway, I would love to get your comments and your thoughts, man. Are we going to keep it real? Are we going to keep it 10 times 10 on this? You know, I would love, put your comments in the comment section. Like the video, share the video. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't subscribed, remember, this is the alternative to opinion-based content. This is fact-based. You know, I could get into the comment box once again and all that, and I might revisit that right before the fight. You know, but I think we need to go do our homework and let me know. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to agree, but I would love to know what you think, you know, about this video. You know, what do you think about this fight? You know, I think it's a sneaky good fight. It's a sneaky good fight, and I do smell an upset. Anyways, thanks for tuning in here with Bodywork Boxing, but we don't take things for face value. We do that body work. Welcome to BodyWork.